Now, the last few days has seen a bit of a bloodbath in the stock market, with S&P 500 falling at least 2%, 2.85% in the last 5 days. In the last 1 month, we've seen a fall of like 4%. Damn, guys. We've come from highs of 6,144 to lows of 5,770 per share. So that's how crazy it's been. And that's, that's us staying in the market. We are not leaving, guys. We're not leaving. So I'm looking at the chart here of S&P 500 and what has been happening. Now, the S&P 500 obviously involves the 500 largest companies in the US. I've spoken about investing in the S&P 500 here on this channel. Check out that video. But today we want to be looking at this stock investing, and we want to look at, if you're in Kenya, how do you invest in international stocks? And why am I saying this right now when things are looking red? And when I say red, I mean red. You will see the picture. I'll link it somewhere here. And it's really red. Like, the market is on a bloodbath, guys. The market's on a bloodbath. And yeah, you know what? This is part of the process of investing. And I tell people all the time, if you're not ready for this, don't start investing. Especially in the stock market, if you're not ready to see your money go down, see negative returns for a period of time, see this red market, then you're not really meant for investing. Because some people want to see green, green, green all the time, but they don't want to see when the market is actually correcting. I call it a correction because that's what it is. The market will always go up. If you look at the performance of the market over time, the market has performed exceptionally well. We're talking of thousands and thousands of percentage in returns in any of these major stocks or in the indices. What's happening right now is just part of the process, and we have to be ready for it as investors. We must be ready to go through it with some stoicism and make sure that you don't end up selling your stocks just because you're feeling fearful. Now, we don't know what the flow is going to be. We don't know how far this market is going to fall, owing to the fact that Trump has been so busy imposing tariffs and, starting tariff wars with China, with Canada, with Mexico, with Europe, and everyone else, man. And he also has this issue going on with Russia and Ukraine. There are just so many economic factors, fundamental factors affecting the stock market right now. But this is the perfect time for me to talk about investing in international stock market. If you are in Africa or in Kenya specifically, how do you invest? And this is a question I get all the time, so it's not something new. People tell me, hey Ken, how can I invest in the international stock market? How can I invest in the S&P 500? How can I invest in the ETFs? How can I invest in Apple, Google, Facebook, all these big, amazing companies that are giving people amazing returns? How do I invest in them? Now, in this video, we're going to be looking at how to invest in those stocks. That's one. But also give you a bit of an insight on stock investing internationally and how you can access it, and from what paths or from what kind of investment strategy could you approach it. And remember, here at Ken's Money Matters, talk about the money mindset, how to make that money, how to enjoy that money, how to manage that money, how to invest that money, and how to assure yourself of a lifetime of income, basically financial freedom. So let's go. So like I said, the stock market has been crazy this week. Just looking at some of the top, top companies and how they've performed. Let's look at 1 week performance of some of those companies in the S&P 500. Like Microsoft has had a 0.93% drop. Nvidia, one of our best performing stocks, have made some good money out of this, has had a 9% drop, 9.79% drop to be specific. Apple has had a 1% drop. Amazon has had like 6% drop. Tesla has had 10% drop. Google has had a positive of 2%, and Meta has had a 6% drop. These are some of those amazing big companies that you hear of all the time. If you go to the financials, JP Morgan is down 8%, Visa is down 4%, XP is down 9%. So these companies are actually on like a downward trend right now, guys. So this is not the time you want to look at your portfolio. If you are an investor, I advise against it, unless you're buying. Yeah. So things are looking down right now, but this is part of the stock market investment. And when we say be greedy when others are fearful, this is what we mean. When Buffett says be greedy when others are fearful, this is what he means. Right now, there's a bloodbath in the market. This is when you get in and get cheap deals. You get value out of whatever it is you're buying. So right now, myself, I'm going in, I'm buying, I'm stocking up, I'm ready for the ride up, because I know that ride up is going to come eventually. It might still go down. I don't know. I can't foretell. No one can. Let them not lie to you. But what I know, it will go up at some point. And when it goes up, if I get a good deal right now, and if you get a good deal as well, then we end up making a higher percentage on our money than if you bought it at a very high level when everything is looking green. Let me know in the comment section below if you are investing more. If you're already investing in the international market, are you investing more? Are you investing right now, or are you on a start? If you want to start, this is the perfect time, because you get everything at a low price, and then you have a very nice range, opportunity for growth. So that's a 1 week performance. Let's look at 1 month performance again. Microsoft is down 4%, Nvidia down 9%, Apple up 2%, Amazon down 15%, Tesla down 30% in 1 month, Google down 9%, Meta is down 11%. This is crazy. JP Morgan is down 10%. That's how crazy this has been. That's a 1 month performance, right? And Tesla was doing really well before this. If you look at 1 year performance, and that's why I'm trying to tell you how this, now the chart starts getting green, right? And now we see Nvidia is up 31%, Apple is up 40%, Oracle is up 39%, Amazon is up 14%, Tesla is up 45%, Meta is up 27%, Google is up 31%, JP Morgan is up 28%, Visa is up 23%, so XP is up 25%. So again, you're looking at the long-term horizon. That's why I say when you're investing in the stock market, you have to know what your objective is. What are you trying to achieve? You're not coming here to make quick money unless you're a day trader or an active trader. You're not coming in here to make quick money. You're coming in here to invest. As an investor, you need to hold the market. You need to give it time. That's 1 year performance. So if you look at it in terms of a long-term horizon, you're okay. But if you look at it in terms of, like, let's say 1 week, 1 month, then you see the bloodbath and you're like, okay, you're gonna lose money. Now, if you're in Kenya, how do you start investing in the stock market? How do you start, get access? It's a very simple process, guys. There's nothing complicated. All you need to do is find a broker that will offer you these stocks. You need to find a broker who will offer you platform to buy these stocks. It's that simple. Now, I have spoken about the brokers in Kenya who can give you access to these stocks. Pesa is one of them, and I have the link down below. Pesa has some of these stocks, has the indexes. For example, if you want to invest with them, it's a very good company. Please click the link below. So Pesa is one of them. But besides that, I always don't want to give you just one option. I have done a video on international brokers that you can use to actually invest in the international market. There's interactive brokers, for instance. There's Ninja Trader, there's Oanda, there's Admirals Markets, there's IG, there's IC Markets, there's forex.com. Some of these forex.com, you can actually use them for other investments as well. So there are many investment brokers that you could actually use. I've done a video on this. There's capital.com, there's Pepperstone. There's so many investment brokers. So find a good broker, do your own research, get a broker that you feel comfortable with, and then invest. But of course, like I said, I know Pesa. I've used them. I have a platform with them. I have referred many people. I haven't had any complaint. They are in Kenya as well. You can access them. So feel free. So the first thing you want is a broker, platform on which you're going to trade, right? Before you even decide, once you know that you want to invest, you must find the platform. That's the most important bit of this process. So find the platform to invest. If you're in Kenya, you can find international brokers, online brokers that could help you buy these stocks. Is there any question on that? Let me know in the comment section. If you have any questions around brokers, I'll answer you. Now, what strategy do you employ when you start investing, especially investing from Kenya? Now, what I say is invest in things that you understand, things that you know. There are different ways in which you can invest in the international market. You can invest in individual stocks, like I just mentioned a few of them just when I was looking at the performance. You can choose which individual stocks you want to invest in. Of course, in that sense, you want to look at all the factors around analyzing a stock before you invest in it. You want to look at the PE ratio, the earnings ratio. You want to look at the management. You want to look at the history. You want to look at the performance. You want to look at the capitalization. You want to look at the market cap. You want to look at the growth opportunity in that stock. You want to look at many things. You want to look at past performance. You want to look at many things when investing in a particular stock. So that analysis is on you to do and make sure you are getting the right stock. Now, that is if you are investing in international individual stocks, meaning you are picking stocks by stock. You are picking Apple, you're picking Coca-Cola, you're picking Adobe, you're picking Salesforce, whatever company you want to pick. But you have done your research, you've done your analysis, and you know why you're picking that particular stock, because there must be factors that support that process. That is if you want to invest in individual stocks, you feel interested in doing that analysis, and you're willing to ride the wave of that individual stock, because of course it will have its own movements, its own volatility. You must be ready for that. And individual stocks are obviously more volatile because it's just a single company. Anything can impact it. If you're investing long term, you can't be so sure that the company will be here and will be doing as well in the next 5-10 years. So depends on your analysis and what you want and what your objective is. So that's one way of investing internationally. The second way of investing internationally is through what we call the ETFs, exchange traded funds. These are basically just like mutual funds, but they are traded like normal stocks. So they are pooled funds by professional investors, but they're traded in the stock market just like any other stock, but they're a basket of stocks. Now, there are several ETFs you could invest in. You have to think about that. You have to do your analysis. You have to do some research and figure out which ETFs you want to invest in. So that's with ETFs, right? You want to figure out which one is best for you. What kinds of stocks do you want in that basket? Do you want IT stocks? Do you want consumer stocks? Do you want financial stocks? Do you want health stocks? Do you want AI stocks? Do you want data stocks? Do you want whatever it is that you're looking for? Do you want real estate focused stocks? So you need to figure out which stocks you want in your basket. If you want a mixture of everything, right? Do you want like large cap stocks? Do you want like small cap stocks? Do you want like medium cap stocks? Depending on exactly what you want. That ETF should be composed of what you choose as a person. So instead of you picking the individual stocks, you're picking that basket. Then another strategy would be mutual funds. Mutual funds is just another way of ETFs. But if the ETFs are traded, mutual funds are not. Mutual funds are just pooled investments managed by a professional who invest them in different places. So again, with mutual funds, you want to ensure that you know what you're going to invest in, what do they offer. Each fund that they have, what is it focused on? What is it investing in? Are you comfortable with its risk level? Are you comfortable with everything it has in that particular fund? Are you comfortable with the management? Are you comfortable with the fees? Are you comfortable with everything around it before you buy? That's a mutual fund. You can also decide to buy what we call indices. Indices like the S&P 500 is an index. It has the 500 largest companies in the US, for instance. We have the Dow Jones, for instance. We have the NASDAQ, for instance. These are indices. So they also compose of certain stocks with certain caliber or certain factors that would make it an index, right? So with indices, again, very passive investing. You're buying, let's say, the 500 largest ones. It means you have a share in each of those companies in there. You don't have to worry about picking individual stocks. Again, even in Kenya, we have index. We have the NSE 20, NSE 25 index. These are basically selecting certain companies based on certain parameters set within the country, and therefore you end up buying everything that is contained within that particular index. So you need to figure out if that's the best way for you and you don't want to be involved in picking stocks, then that's a very good strategy as well. If you want to just invest passively and not worry about which stock is going to do better in the next 10 years, then you just invest in the index and then you don't worry about anything else. Easy peasy. Now, one thing also to consider if you are in Kenya is there are so many banks now and investment firms that are also making these different funds that could invest in these international stocks. So I was talking about Mansa X, for instance, that will invest in international stocks. They tell you exactly where they're investing. They're investing in international landscape, or globally speaking. They have those access. So if you want to use that fund or to access the international market, that's another easy way to access the international market. There are so many funds, so many banks, so many investment firms in Kenya that have certain specific funds, or they have created certain funds that invest in these international markets. If that's the easiest way for you, then go and find them, look at what they invest in, ask them questions, look at their fact sheet and get the information about whatever they're investing in, what the returns you're expecting, what are the risks involved, and all those factors around investing. But like I said, there are many ways, right? So the first thing is finding a broker, then you know your strategy and how you want to invest. And then if you don't want to do that, you can then use these investment firms to invest or access these international markets. The only difference is that in that case, you're not choosing your own stocks, but you're finding a fund that already tells you 10% to invest in commodities, 20% to invest in, let's say, stocks or IT stocks, another 10% to invest in, let's say, health stocks, another 5% in forex. So you find that fund has been formed already for you. All you need to do is invest or buy that particular fund, and of course meet their conditions for that fund. So it depends on what you want, but there are many ways in which you can invest in the international stock market from Kenya and from Africa, depending on where you are. I hope that's helpful, guys. Let me know in the comment section, what are you doing as we're going through this bloodbath? Are you buying more? Are you starting now? Are you thinking of investing internationally? So let me know, guys. I'm out.